Peruvian chicken. Pollo peruano, man. Pollo peruano. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to learn how to make pollo a la brasa. That's Peruvian chicken, pollo peruano, man. This stuff will make you smack your lips twice over, I swear. This chicken is smacking good. You can eat it with any kind of side you want. Rice, french fries, yuca fries, potatoes, sauces off the yin yang. We're going to make a green sauce with cilantro and some other things. I'll explain it later. You can eat this chicken straight up, no butter if you want. You're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All it takes is 7 ingredients and 2, maybe 1, but 2 days to marinate. Tengo hambre! Let's get right into it. Alright, the first thing you're going to need is a blender. It's pretty simple. House blender, nothing fancy. Second thing, chicken. If you don't have a chicken, go to the supermarket, out of your quarantine, and go get the chicken. And come back. You're going to need wet ingredients. Limes, oil. Dry ingredients. Cumin, oregano, paprika, and salt. And garlic. Always you need garlic. You put all these ingredients inside the blender. Wet ingredients first. You blend it. You put it in the chicken. You marinate it. It's simple. Easy. You're going to love it. Oh. It's not working! Su madre. Now we lather the red, glorious marinade on. Make sure you just spread the love everywhere. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you the salsa verde. This is some awesome flavors, so just make sure you get all these ingredients. It's going to make it perfect. You're going to need romaine lettuce, 1 head. You're going to need a bunch of cilantro, 4 limes, red distilled vinegar, sour cream, mayonnaise, 3 cloves of garlic, 3 jalapeños, and some salt. And we're going to loosen all of this with some oil. We just chop it up, throw it in the blender, blend it up until it's nice and smooth, and it's going to be really nice. Alright, after blending it all together, you're going to add in your mayonnaise and your sour cream. And this will kind of bind everything together. It's going to make it nice and creamy, good flavors, and it'll mellow out the jalapeños and the cilantro. Alright, everything is blended together. I blended mine for about 5 minutes. Depending on your blender, you might have to go a little bit less, a little bit longer. Just depends. I added some of the jalapenos without seeds, actually 2. And if you want it spicier, you can add all of them with seeds or just no seeds at all. It depends on how much spice you like. Also, the vinegar is red distilled vinegar, and I personally think that is the best for this salsa verde. So if you guys want the best experience, then you should get red distilled vinegar. You can use white distilled vinegar, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend red distilled. I'm going to leave a description of the recipe below, and we're going to also pop it up on the screen. So on to the next thing. Alright, we made our salsa verde and we put it off to the side. Now it's time to start thinking about baking our chicken. We got to turn on the oven to 350, Bake it for about 40 minutes, and then we're going to crisp it up at 400 degrees for another 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to also make a Portuguese rice today on the side. That is one of my favorite rices. Has vegetables, has a little bit of turmeric, some spices. It's going to be really good. I'm going to show you how to whip that up really quick in the pan, and we're going to just go at it. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, we got our chicken in the oven. It's been about 10 minutes or so, and now we're going to make our Portuguese rice. We're going to start this off with a whole diced onion. We have granulated garlic. We have fine black pepper. We have turmeric powder. We have salt. We have chicken bouillon, or powdered chicken, everybody might know it as, and just some oil. So we're going to start it up. You're going to saute your onions for about 5 minutes until they get some color. And I'll come back to you when the onions are ready to go. Alright, we've been sauteing on high heat for about 5 minutes now. 5 to 10 minutes. You're going to look for a translucent brownish color going in the onions, as you can see here. Now we're going to add our rice. This is about for 4 or 5 people. So family dinner night, you're going to want to add 3 cups of white rice straight into the pan. Now we're going to add some more oil. It's just going to soak up all this oil anyway, so let's just add some more oil so it doesn't stick to the bottom of our pan. And now this is the time that we're going to also add our ingredients. Now what we're doing is we're sauteing it to release some of the starches. Otherwise we're just going to have one big rice cake if we don't try to do that. So we're going to release some of the starch here with the oil. Kind of like risotto, if you've done risotto. If you've done rice before this way, then just ignore me and wait till the ingredients part. If you haven't, I'm going to explain how you know how to measure the water, because that can be probably the most difficult part. So afterwards, adding all the flavors, if you're going to add in the water the exact same way as me, you'll most likely fail, because it's hard to gauge the exact same heat setting on a gas burner. So you need to add in water, and we're going to slowly stir this while the water is evaporating, and we're going to taste it after a while. We're going to start with a base amount of water, and we're going to taste it, and if it's still hard, we'll add a little bit more water. Now when we get to a certain sweet spot, which I'll explain later, then that's when we're going to leave it alone and we'll cover it, and we'll let it do its magic. So right now, I'm going to turn the heat down. We've gotten some toastiness on our rice. So now it's time to add our ingredients. We are going to take our turmeric. This is what you need for a Portuguese rice, is a turmeric, 1 tablespoon. Add it in there. 1/8 of a cup of garlic powder. Take about 1/3 cup of chicken bouillon. Chicken powder, anything for chicken soup, really. If you have the cubes, then it'd be about 1 cube. Do 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper. Now we're going to mix this all in, and now we're going to add the water. Now we got all this stickiness on the bottom of the pan. The rice has burnt a little bit into it. Now is a good time to add your water. You're going to add a lot more flavor. So I got my bowl of water here, and I'm going to start off with a base of about 4 cups of water. This is the tricky part, right? We have our water in. How do we know this is enough water? How do we know it's not going to become mushy or dry? We're going to just stick by this rice. Now, I know you might want to leave and let it go, but no, it's better to stick by the rice. Again, if you already know how to make rice, okay, and you're confident in your own way, then add your water, use the same ingredients, and go your own way. But this is how I prefer to do it. I prefer to wait for it to start simmering, and then we're going to turn down the heat, and we're going to keep mixing it around until we think it's almost all evaporated, and we're going to taste the rice. If the rice is still hard, we're going to add in a little bit more water, and then we're going to keep doing the same process until it's nice, not mushy, not done, but a little bit al dente. And then that's when we're gonna let it evaporate almost all the way, and we're gonna cover it. We're gonna cover it with tin foil or a towel or the lid of the pot if you have only that. I prefer to cover it with tin foil because you can get a tighter seal. So we'll come back when this is almost evaporated everything. Now we've started to have a simmer, a boil all around the edges. Now we're going to turn it down. We're going to turn it down to about medium heat. That's 4 on my setting. The reason being is we're going to let this go low and slow. Try to let it soak up the juice without burning the bottom. And this is how you can make less water stretch, and it'll be a lot less mushy. It'll be a lot less grainy. And make sure also when you're selecting your pan for this job, you don't have a very round pan that's not very wide in base and tall. You need a wider base, because if you don't have a wide base, you're going to have a lot of different textures in your rice. You're going to have mushy rice, you're going to have grainy rice, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure you have a wide base pan. As you can see now, we have been stirring for the past 5 minutes, not letting this go, not walking away. I've been stirring, and now we have almost evaporated all of our water here. So I'm thinking we're probably going to have to add more water, so I'm just going to give this rice a feel. And it's very hard, so we're going to add another cup of water here. Now we're going to continue this process, and when we've evaporated all the water again, we're going to check it out and see if it needs some more. Second time around, we've evaporated our water again. We're going to give it another taste. And I can still feel birdseed hard rice. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in one more in our last cup of water. So now the big trick is we're going to let this evaporate pretty much all the way down, pretty much a little bit moist. Once it's evaporated, it has a little bit of moisture left, we're going to cover it, and we're just going to leave it. We're going to cover it for 15, 20 minutes while your chicken is cooking still. We're going to also add in this vegetable. So when this is evaporated, we're going to add in this vegetable. I got this vegetable at Costco. It has carrots, it has peas, it has green beans, it has corn. Whatever your preference is, this is where this rice can change. You can add tomatoes. You can just leave it as onions. You can put cilantro at the end or parsley. You can get creative with how you want it to be. I prefer this vegetable mix is awesome inside this rice, and it's this is the way to go in my opinion. So yeah, mixed vegetable, just corn, whatever you guys want to do, up to you. We are on our last go with the rice here. We've basically almost evaporated all of the liquid. We're going to give it a taste. Good. So basically cooked, but there's a little crunch at the end. Not what you would expect with rice, and that's where we want it. We're going to let it rest. Like I said, 15 to 20 minutes. Now is the time to add what your vegetable or your finishing touch is going to be. So I'm going to add in my vegetable. We're going to mix that right in. And you can add more of this if you want, less of it. All depends on personal preferences. Careful not to burn your hand. And we're just going to basically weigh it down. All right. Now, don't forget about your chicken. Don't forget about your chicken. Make sure that after the 40 minutes have gone by, you turn that heat up, crisp up your skin. Don't play with this until that happens. After your chicken's done, you piece it together, then you can open it up and you can see how beautiful your rice turned out. Whatever else you're going to be making with this dinner, start it now. Start getting everything together. Me and my wife, we're going to have sweet plantains fried in the pan. It's going to be awesome. All right, the chicken is done, out of the oven, temping at 165. The rice is done resting. The plantains are fried. Your guys' sides are all ready to go. Enjoy the chicken. This is straight up no butter. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. Bye guys.